Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Another week has gone by. It's weekend and uh, it's time to talk about all the paintings and stuff that I did this week. Now, this was a very busy week. I somehow couldn't turn off the inspiration, like even when I had all of the things done that I had planned for a certain day, I would keep painting and working ahead, so to say, because this brain here was just not shutting up. So let's go right into what I published, and then I'm gonna, well, show you the daily challenge, flip through kind of thing. So first off, on Monday, I did the art journal. And this was a very raw and very personal page, being raw emotions painted onto a page. And you can see the background story, or you can hear it in the narrated version of the video. But very shortly, this page is called Fuck Cancer. And you can pretty much guess why I do have, well, these kinds of very angry and raw emotions. It hit my family pretty badly, and yeah, at some point, even if you handled the stuff quite well, you just gotta let the shit out, right? So it landed on the page, and it's very angry, very raw, and I like that my emotions overtook thinking, is this going to be a good or pretty page? Is this going to be nice in an artistic way? But it was more like art was the tool to get me balanced again. So this is a pretty but ugly page, you know? So I'm very proud of this one, and I liked working with inks. Recently, I've gotten into not using ink only for line work, but for painting with it. And I really, really like it a lot. So there was a lot of splattered ink on the page, which I think makes it quite vibrant and moving, and it just has power, I think. So this was the first thing I published, and again, very, very raw, still is, but the overwhelming anger is gone, so it's fine. It's kind of like art therapy, you know. But that's my art journal. I don't paint pretty pictures there. I try things in my art journal, and I paint whatever happened that week. So you don't always get the pretty stuff. The second thing I published was on Tuesday. It's my Tiny Tuesday painting. Again, going with ink and watercolor. Though this time I used an ink pen, not the fluid ink containers. And I worked with masking fluid, and I really liked it, though you can't really make out on this painting where the fluid was. It was on the boat and a tiny bit on the horizon, but I just, well, pulled in the color again to, well, have a flowing background kind of thing going on. But I wanted something stormy. I wanted something in the bluish greenish kind of way. And I think I know that I just wanted to test masking fluid on this particular paper where it's not sucked in, if it would seal off just as well, and it did. So I really, really liked it. That's why I produced this rather simple shape, just to give it a try, but also something that, well, I think represents still a bit of the raw sailing the oceans kind of feeling, you know. So though it was a technical test for a supply, definitely my being and my emotions sipped in and made a painting. You know, I didn't really think a lot about it. I thought about the technical stuff, didn't think about the theme or the motif. That was my hand brain again. So I learned to live with my hand brain and not to question it anymore. So sometimes I just don't know why I paint things. I just do. So after a quick break on Wednesday, where it was more on the cooking art, on Thursday I published a new segment of Talk O'Clock, which I was terrified of, but I also like, and I'm quite happy how the first few episodes that I already shot turned out. I published the first Taco challenge, the Argus shell. Now, I giggled so hard for the whole evening, pretty much, on and off again, when I painted this painting and then looked back at Google seeing what the Argus shell actually looks like. And I found it so funny and just hilarious what my mind thinks of certain words in an order, in like a definition, and what it actually is. So please do me a favor, go to Google and search for the Argus shell and you will roll your eyes pretty heavily. But this was what my mind made of it, and this is just published in the video. There's no blog or anything about it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to blog about those paintings or if I do them once a month, those blog posts, but I think I'm not going for weekly, since all that I should say or would say about the painting is already in the video, describing my thought processes and everything, so I don't really see the point why I should write it down. It's just repetition, you know. But coming back to the painting, I really like the colors. I'm still not sure if I like it like all the way, but there's something about that painting that just draws me in, and I can't really pinpoint it. So it might just be those tiny white lines, those scratches that you sometimes have on shells. It might be that, or it might just be the color combination. I don't know. But I know that I like the color combination that I chose, and there's something to the painting. I know it might sound totally weird. I get it. Maybe you know. Maybe you can put it into words if you feel the same way. Why I keep getting back to this painting, looking at it. Though it's not really something special. It's totally simple. Not a whole lot of depth. Maybe it's just because it was the first take on the challenge and me not screwing up badly like I was afraid I would when I decided to do this segment. So maybe it's that. I don't know. But that was what was published, and I think it's just a funny, goofy kind of thing, you know? So the next one was a bit of a struggle. That's the Friday painting. I published the Lake District Derwent water kind of thing. So this is my much response to the Paint My Photo challenge. And there's the challenge was that you'd only take photos of a certain photographer, since it was kind of like a birthday for the page. I think it was 5 years, if I remember correctly, that the page exists, and that photographer and painter was one of the people to, well, get it all started. So it was kind of like an homage to his work, to say thank you, to paint only his photos. So with backtracking, his photos leave a lot to interpret. They leave a lot of room to make an art piece with it. They're landscapes mostly, and well, I don't want to say they're not specific, but they're shot in a way that leaves you as the painter a lot of room to make something with it. Like the second part of the challenge was to only use one yellow, one red, one blue, one brown or earth color, and one white. That's it. So if you look at the real photo, which I linked to in the blog post and the video and whatnot, you see that the photo is totally different. I mean, you recognize, definitely, but I found it very interesting. My hubby said that it reminded him of burning trees on a lake. He didn't even see the lake. He saw more of, I don't know, a meadow or something, but he saw back here, he saw just burning trees. And another person from the forum, one of the admins, actually saw cherry blossom trees in an Asian landscape, which is so not what I saw or I made out when I painted. But now that a good week has gone by, almost 10 days since I painted it, I could see where they are coming from. And that's something that I first didn't like, but now I'm like, oh, you can interpret into my take on the painting. You can make out something else. You can add whatever you see to the painting. So I think what I want to say is that due to the unspecific photograph, it leaves you as the painter to make a painting that people could interpret totally different things in, and still you're painting from the photo. So if you wanted to see the photo, you could definitely see it in the painting, which is, I think, just a very interesting sub level going on when you paint from reference photos that are not yours, and that leaves so much room to create something else. So another thing that I did here was I tried out masking fluid for the first time on a bigger scale. And I really liked how it turned out, though I had to wash over a lot of masked off areas here on the trees and everything. I thought I'd do all the details, leaving them white and not mixing colors as much, but over here it lost the depth and dimension in the painting, so I had to tone it down and give it a wash. You can see it in the video how it actually looked after I rubbed off the masking fluid. It was awful, so I just had to tone it down a bit, and then I think I was okay. This is, by the way, one of the paintings where I like a lot what I produced, but it's not something I could look at all day long. It's kind of nice and mysterious, but also kind of disturbing, just the way the colors are put down and how busy it looks. But then again, if I'm really in the mood, I could look at it for a long time. So there's some news, right? These were all the paintings that I published. Now for the last tiny bit, I told you in the last Talk O'Clock Saturday edition that I would start a challenge, and if you'd want to see the photos every day, you should come to my Instagram account, because I'm posting them only there. I just progressed in my challenge. I was a very good girl and painted every day, and I just give you a quick flip through of the paintings that I did. So I left off with Paradise, and the next one is You Are Earth and Shall Become Earth, and this is done with ink and permanent marker. not gonna explain, just saying the materials and giving you a look, a sneak peek into the book, you know. So this was the Noachian Flood, done with Copic markers and permanent markers. And by permanent markers, I mean the liners in black and white that I always or pretty much use in any kind of a painting. This one was done with Faber-Castell Artist brush pens, and it's called Babel. It's also permanent markers in there. This one is moved to Canaan, and it's done by with Copics and permanent markers. This one is called Damascus, and it's done with, again, Copics and permanent markers. I really like Copics in the book. Works well with that flimsy kind of a paper. This one is called Flour, Butter, Milk, Bake a Cake, and that's done with permanent markers and colored pencil. That one is called Aurora, done with colored pencils and watercolor. No permanent marker. That's a new one. This one is called Waterwell, done with permanent markers, watercolors, and colored pencils. That was the one of today, so I've been busy this morning already. So that was what I did so far this week, and I really like the challenge. It's nice for a warm-up kind of thing to start the day with before I go to the bigger surfaces and paint something there. So I really like it, and it hasn't been too difficult to find a good word of a given page to paint something with. So I guess that's the review for the week. If you have any questions, any ideas, any comments, anything, just leave it in the comment section below. Also, I thank you very much for watching, and I would very, very much appreciate if you liked and or shared this video, because it helps a lot and it lets me know that I'm on the right way. Also, if you haven't already, why not subscribe to the channel? I do have art videos and cooking videos and board game videos for you every day of the week, though I do have the focus on art. I have to add that in there. Yeah, I guess that's that. I hope you do have a very, very lovely day / weekend, and maybe you find some time to create something. That would be very cool. If not, well, maybe tomorrow or next week, who knows, right? So have a very good one, take good care, and I'm going to see you tomorrow on the Gamers Couch and on Monday with a new art video. Bye.